So I just learned a really big lesson and I want to share it with you. I don't know if you tuned into yesterday's episode when I was having a real meh kind of day. But I woke up feeling very meh. Just very meh. It actually woke me up in the middle of the night and kind of set my whole day into motion for this kind of blah vibe. I just wasn't feeling it. I wasn't quite sure what it was or what was happening, but I really came into a place of acceptance with it and just let it be. And what's beautiful about that is that I continued with my day, and eventually, it was shown to me what was happening. So what was happening? I talk so much about embodiment and being soul led and following your authentic self and those internal nudges. And for me, there was something that had been on my mind, a conversation that needed to be had. Sorry, I thought the cat was on my feet, but a conversation that needed to be had. And I was rationalizing it in my mind of no, now's not the time. We'll have the conversation in a couple of weeks. It's just not the time. And was just really denying myself of what my soul was telling me needed to happen, and just trying to follow rules of how to handle things or what timing should be, and not listening to that internal nudge of talk about it. You have things you need to say them. And I had just decided and told myself now it's not the time. Yes, we'll have this conversation. Now it's not the time. And didn't really connect the two, that was why I was feeling so in the doldrums, right? And as the day progressed, I went on and I saw the person that I was feeling the need to have the conversation with, and tried to be happy and let everything be other than what it was, but it just wasn't happening. And I was really honest. I was this is just my vibe today. I'm not in a super sunshiny place. It is what it is. And as the conversation and the interaction progressed, there came a point where it was physically making me ill to not say the things that I needed to say and express the needs that I had in the situation, and just really own my truth. And so it came out, and I just started talking. And the more I said this truth, the more I said what my soul was telling me to say, the better I felt. And I started feeling lighter and easier, and it actually turned into a really beautiful, honest conversation that really turned out best case scenario. It was just a great conversation. And the rules that I was putting on it weren't real rules. They're just made up by society or people who give advice on the internet or whatever. I know the irony, right? But yeah, I wasn't listening to those nudges, and it was physically just bringing me down so hard, with my mood, my soul, my body, everything. It was just bringing me down. And has it always been that way? I don't know. Maybe it has. I don't remember it being that way. I think for so long I was accustomed to ignoring those internal nudges, and this has been a gradual process of uniting this wholeness within, with my body, mind, soul, just really living into my authentic truth. And do I always get it right? No, clearly I don't. I had this thing that I was just not allowing myself to say. But the more I live into my truth, the less that works, right? The stronger it gets, which is a great thing. It took me less than a day to get to where my soul wanted to be. And the result was excellent. It was better than expected. And that is a really big lesson for me, that for one, things are changing within me. The more I use my voice, the more I show up authentically. Again, this isn't overnight. This has been a gradual process that continues to unfold within me and in my life. And that's the thing. It was yesterday, it was showing up anyway, even when you feel not so great. And there was a beautiful lesson in that, by continuing to show up, by accepting those feelings and not trying to change them or numb them down or bypass them or distract myself, and just sitting in the discomfort. It led me to exactly where I was meant to be. And Abraham Hicks talks about this. It's the uncomfortability, when we have this sadness, that it's the distance between where we are and where our soul wants to be. And sometimes that could be a big thing, like a career thing, a life thing, like a big major life thing. And sometimes it's just a little thing, like a conversation that needs to be had with a friend. And that was very much my experience, that there was this gap between what was true to my soul, what my soul was telling me to do, and what my mind and my human had decided I was going to do. They weren't matched up, and I was feeling the difference. So no, I didn't do anything wrong. There was nothing wrong about that. It was actually very right, because, and this is alchemy, baby, I learned from it. It's shown me that now when I feel that way and I don't know where it's coming from, to go further and to check in with myself. Is there something that my soul is nudging me to do that I'm ignoring and that I'm saying no to and thinking that I know better? Because we never know better. Our soul knows. Our soul knows so much more. It's our broader perspective. It has like such a broader perspective on everything that's happening in the whole course of our life and lifetimes, and the people that we're involved with, and all of the things that we are meant for in this life. And our human like really feels like we know it all sometimes, but we don't. And so there was just so much to learn from that. One, allow myself to sit in the discomfort, because that's where the information is, right? The information is in the discomfort, the truth. Like, this embodiment thing works, and my body is very clearly communicating with me. And so tuning into that, allowing it to be, not judging it, it only furthers this embodiment practice, because now I know this is a very familiar feeling when it comes back up, instead of being like, it taking me 3/4 of the day to figure out what was going on, or I wasn't even figuring out, but for it to be shown to me like what was happening. That will happen a lot sooner. I will get to the other side of it a lot sooner next time, because now I'm familiar. I'll remember this moment. I'll remember this day or yesterday of when I wasn't listening, and it was showing up with that extreme discomfort. To speak our truth. Like, if the truth is always gonna yield the truth. Like, if you're speaking the truth, the results that are going to come as a result of it, I know that's redundant, but what comes as a result of it is truth. So, like, I really want you to feel into this. If you speaking your truth brings an undesired reaction or cause or whatever, that's truth. That's information to look at. If you are in relationship with someone and you bringing your truth in a very peaceful ground, sorry about that, I ran out of space to delete some things. But if you showing up in your authentic truth and bringing it in a very peaceful and grounded way causes a rupture in that relationship, and sometimes the other person may need space to take it in and respond accordingly, but if that person doesn't like you or distances themselves from you because of your truth, then that relationship wasn't aligned. That's great information to have, so that you're not pouring your time and energy into something that is not going to bear fruit ever. Because if you can't be in your truth in the relationship, then the relationship isn't in your truth. I hope that those connections make sense, because I think that that's a very profound thing to understand. And so the answer is always being in the truth, listening to those internal nudges, listening to your body, listening to your soul, and allowing your soul to lead. And I am, not Buddha on the mountaintops. I'm down here in the trenches with you guys and learning this stuff day by day too. And yes, I've come a long way, and I have gained a tremendous amount of wisdom. I will own that. And I'm still learning. And the deeper I go into this practice of authenticity, the deeper I go into myself, the more I learn, the more that opens. And what's great about that, I had an icky day for a good portion of the day yesterday, but look at the payoff. I've learned myself better. I have deepened and expanded this relationship with this friend that this truth needed to come out. I have learned more about myself. I've learned more about what these feelings mean and how they're there to guide me and to lead me to my next level, to my next step, the next right step, whatever is supposed to be happening for me. There's just so much juice, so much goodness and wisdom there. There's so much to be had from what our body tells us. And when you're feeling heavy in your soul and your body, bypassing, stuffing it down, numbing it out, it's not, that doesn't get rid of it. It's still there waiting for you. Your soul is going to continue to keep you uncomfortable until you listen and get in alignment with what it's trying to tell you. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that discomfort. It is a teacher, it is a friend, it is a guide. Trying to get rid of it is not the answer, but listening to it, giving it space. Had I gone and distracted myself or numbed myself out and tried to get rid of that, it would still be there when I woke up this morning. But instead, I alchemized the shit out of that, baby. That's what's there. Turn it into something even better. It's there to guide us, to show us, to teach us. So I just, for one, wanted to follow up on yesterday, Melissa's horrible, terrible, no good, very bad day with only one egg in the morning. If you know, you know. And show like how beautiful that is. Like, I love that uncomfortable day. I love all the ickiness that I felt yesterday, because it was there to guide me to exactly where I wanted to be, to where my soul wanted to be. And it's confirmed for me that this relationship is currently a soul-aligned relationship, that there is a deepening of this friendship. There is more to continue here, and that this person is a person I can go deep with and show up honestly and authentically with. And that's what I'm building in my life. I'm building more and more relationships where I can show up authentically and it works. I'm going to show up authentically anyway, but it doesn't always work. I want the relationships where when I show up authentically, it works. It works for all involved. And it did, because it gave this person relief on things that they didn't quite know what to do with. And it gave me relief in being true to myself. And at the end of the conversation, I was able to embrace this person and say, thank you. Thank you for being someone who I can say all the things to. And that just deepens our bonds. That deepens our relationship. This strengthens the circle that I have around me. It strengthens my own ability, belief in myself and in my voice, and that nudge and that inner truth. Although it was a bit more than a nudge yesterday, but it deepens the relationship to myself and to everything around me that I am involved with. And that is profound, and that is beautiful, and that is why we live this authentic life, because it always leads us to the best place where we could possibly be. Thank you for following along in this story. I love you guys. I am, of course, going to make a meditation. I'll put it up tomorrow to go with this, and enjoy this beautiful day. Aloha.